Welcome to Jackpots and Hotspots, Las Vegas travel tips and news video podcast. Whether you're planning a trip or just missing being there, this is our place to talk about all things Vegas. Let's kick things off by talking about attractions and things to do. So as I've kind of started talking about Las Vegas holiday attractions, this might become a series week by week because I keep finding new things for us to talk about, but there are a ton of holiday attractions for everyone to enjoy in Vegas right now. It's the holiday season. Right now we've just had Thanksgiving and we are getting ready for all the December holidays coming up. So lots of fun stuff going on. No matter what your reason for being in Vegas, there might be something holiday fun that you'll find that you want to do. So I might turn this into an ongoing series because I keep finding stuff, so we'll see. So as I mentioned last week, there was this really good article in the Las Vegas Review-Journal of what's going on in Las Vegas for the holidays. So I'll continue to put that link in the description below just because it's a really great list. See if there's anything worth catching while you're traveling to Vegas. There's also a new list they put out, the Las Vegas Review-Journal put out this week. It's Thanksgiving week, so it was within the last week that they just put this new list out. But it is another guide to holiday events like in the area. So maybe if you're going to visit like friends, family, kind of more in the Las Vegas area, there's a whole bunch of things to do. And it includes like Vegas Strip. So even if you're not just going like to the area, but you're actually just going to the Strip or Fremont, and that's where you're staying, there are things on this list that are going to appeal to you too. So it's just a huge list with a lot of really, really cool stuff. If you love Vegas and have been thinking about moving there, this list is just going to convince you even more because there are some pretty cool things going on. So I won't get into them. I'll just put the link to that list in the description below and let you read the research they've already done there at the journal. But there's some pretty cool stuff going on. In standard stuff, the Bellagio Conservatory has of course decorated their holiday theme. They have a ginormous gingerbread house. It is 7 feet tall, 440-pound gingerbread house is part of the display. It was created by the culinary department there at the Bellagio, so it's going to be very impressive. They have 6-foot chocolate trees. Don't gnaw on them, you might get in trouble, but I bet they just look amazing. And they also have custom-made gingerbread scent. So the scent, I think, is actually custom-made with all like the cloves and gingery stuff. Definitely worth a visit, as a conservatory always is. So things to do this week. We are just coming off of Thanksgiving, so it is the end of Thanksgiving week. So things to do this week and upcoming December 1st through 6th is the annual National Finals Rodeo. So we're going to go cowboy mode for a minute here and talk about the rodeo and some related events to that because it is a huge annual event and really big for tourism for Vegas and brings in just a whole bunch of activities. It is at the Thomas and Mack Center, which is at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus. So it is there, which I didn't know. I never paid attention to where it was hosted before, so I don't know if it's always been there or what, but that is where they're hosting it. And there are a couple of related events that are open to anyone. So there is the Downtown Hoedown that is on Fremont Street. So it is their kickoff party that they have. I'm guessing they do it every year, but it's at Fremont Street Experience. If you go to the NFR, the National Finals Rodeo website, it's nfrexperience.com, you'll see all their drop downs, and there's one that if you hover over it says NFR After Dark, and then you'll see a link to click on for the Downtown Hoedown. So if you're interested, it's free to go. So I'm guessing it's open to anybody. But so even if you're not like going to the rodeo or anything like that, maybe it's something that might be fun to check out. Get your cowboy on, put on your boots, and maybe you can do some dancing or just, have some fun. So that sounds pretty cool. And like it might be something you could enjoy as well, even if you're not big on the rodeo or participating in that at all. They also have a Cowboy Christmas. So that is their for the NFR rodeo. It's like their big annual exhibition, gift show, I think is what they called it, where they have hundreds of vendors and things for sale. And so maybe you could check that out too. It's at the Las Vegas Convention Center, December 1st through 10th. So you can see all the Western stuff and get cowboy Westerny things and just look at all the exhibits and things for sale there. So that'd be kind of cool. Apparently they're also having the kids rodeo, basically is what it is. It's called the Yeti Junior World Finals, which are there too. So if you want to see the kids do their thing, which I always thought was pretty cute, but again, I'm from the Midwest, so it might be something kind of cool and kind of cute. And my understanding is to get into that exhibition area is free too, so that's kind of cool. So cool things you can kind of sneak into or check out if you're interested in the rodeo and all the stuff that goes on there. House of Blues in Mandalay Bay has a gospel brunch every Sunday, and I think they're doing their last ones over the next couple weeks. So if that is on your to-do list, make sure you squeeze that in before they're done. There is a new restaurant and bar opening up on the Strip. It is called BrewDog. It is a brew pub, which is exactly what it sounds like. They've got beers and pub food, except on a huge, amazing Vegas-style scale. So they are an international chain, again, called BrewDog, and this is their Strip location that will be opening on December 2nd. They have a rooftop bar, which is pretty cool, always a great thing. It is next door to MGM Grand. The cost of the restaurant was $17 million and appears to be quite the production. They have 96 beer taps. They will have local seasonal beers. Seems like quite the food and beverage just experience. Both of them seem quite extensive and like they're really ready to impress. So quite the experience. If you're really into pubs, beer, might be a fun stop to definitely check out, especially since it's just now opening. It'll be new, it'll be shiny, there'll be really a lot of good energy around there, so I definitely recommend checking it out, letting us all know what you think if you are lucky enough to get to go there. So they have beers, burgers, all that kind of typical pub food. And then there's things on the menu like the $150 Wagyu burger that comes to your table in a treasure chest. And then the chest opens and the burger appears behind smoke, apparently. I read that online. I don't know. I think stuff like that's kind of cool, kind of pretentious, kind of cool. Depends on my mood. So I don't know. Stuff like that is fun. So if you're really into that or you want kind of just a fun pub experience, definitely worth checking it out. Let us know in the comments if you do check it out or if you've been to another BrewDog location. Again, they're international, so that sounds fun. Moving into performances. So as Vegas is, there's always tons of stuff going on. We are again finishing up Thanksgiving week, so there's still a lot of fun stuff going on this weekend. If you're there for this, I guess you can still call it the holiday weekend. There's Aerosmith at Park MGM. They have dates through mid-December, and then I think they're done there, at least for now. Miranda Lambert's at Planet Hollywood this weekend. In comedy, Bill Maher's at the Mirage. Jeff Dunham's at Planet Hollywood. I think I don't know if it's a residency or what, but his comedy show at Planet Hollywood is finishing up, I think, December 2nd. So if he's on your list, check him out before he's gone. Again, don't know much about his show. Performances coming up. So I've kind of tried to cover them as I see them in the news, but there's a whole bunch of stuff coming up like December, and then all the obviously 2023 stuff is kind of out there now too. So as far as December goes, you've got George Strait at T-Mobile Arena December 2nd and 3rd, Cody Johnson at Mandalay Bay December 9th, and then going into 2023, you've got people like Sting is at Caesars, Rod Stewart at Caesars, Jimmy Buffett at MGM Grand, and this is now going into like dates in March and on. So you've got Jimmy Buffett, Maroon 5 at Park MGM, Usher, his residency at Park MGM starting in March as well. So there's just a lot of stuff coming up. Last week I mentioned at Resorts World, you've got Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, Celine Dion, Keith Urban at Planet Hollywood, just a lot of stuff going on. So just trying to throw those out there for your consideration so you can kind of hear and see what's going on out there in case there's something that you're interested in. You can look into that a little further. I'll just keep trying to throw names and things out there as I hear about them. Comedy coming up. So I guess Mirage has like this Aces of Comedy series that they're doing. So they have a bunch of really good comedians, again, over the next few months. In December, you've got Ron White, Ray Romano, and David Spade together. Those are cool. Those are in December as well. Going into 2023, you've got Daniel Tosh, Tim Allen, Wayne Brady, Jerry Seinfeld will be at Caesars, like a handful of dates, spring, summer. And then, yeah, I'll continue to kind of just share things as I see them and think they sound like fun that someone else might want to see too. I am aware that I haven't been talking much about DJs. It might be something I work into things later on. So if there's anyone you want to know about or want to make sure I'm covering, let me know. But it is on my radar to kind of find a way to work in DJs into all the stuff I'm talking about. And New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve, again, it's a series I kind of rolled into starting. So the past couple weeks we've talked a little bit about New Year's Eve stuff coming up in Vegas. Kevin Hart, Pitbull, Chainsmokers, Millennium, Fremont Street Experience, Plaza Hotel fireworks show. Bruno Mars will be at Park MGM. Gabriel Iglesias will be at the Mirage at the end of December, not on New Year's Eve, not on December 31st, but he'll be kind of the days leading up to that. That'd be a good one to work into a trip, a New Year's Eve trip overall. Blue Man Group at the Luxor will be performing multiple shows on the 31st afternoon and early evening, so that might work for some people too. Tenacious D will be at Virgin Hotel Las Vegas, so that's cool. So yeah, again, as I uncover these, I'll just kind of throw them out there for us to consider. And I know a lot of us probably are not planning family-friendly trips right now. Maybe you are over the holidays, maybe you're not. Maybe you're talking about it for the spring and summer, maybe you're not sure. But I have definitely morphed into more of a family-friendly Vegas traveler. I never intended on it, but it has happened. My son just absolutely loves Vegas and loves coming with me to Vegas. So I'm getting a little more equipped to give family-friendly advice. So I wanted to share with you my number one tip for a family-friendly Vegas trip. Of course, you're going to want to make a lists of your ideas and things you want to do. But number one is if you're taking your kids to Vegas, and it truly needs to be family friendly, right? It's not just like, oh, everyone's over 21 and we're going, but this is maybe I should call this a number one tip for going to Vegas with kids. Cater to your kids. Plan the trip around your kids and the things you want to do with them. Make that experience about them. Otherwise, don't bring them, because you're either doing it as a kid's trip, right? A kid-friendly trip, or you're not. But don't pull them along on a bunch of crap that they don't want to do or that you don't want them there for. On top of that, in general, just doing too much in Vegas or trying to do too much is how a lot of us get into trouble. We get tired, we drink too much, we don't drink enough water in the summer, whatever it is. Trying to do too much usually ends up in a bad Vegas trip. So honestly, just plan. If you are going to take your kids to Vegas, make the trip about them and do all the kid-friendly, family-friendly stuff. Otherwise, don't waste your time and don't waste their time by dragging them to Las Vegas. There's too much to do and you will just wind up being miserable, and I guarantee they will too, which in turn makes you miserable. I'm going to add on kind of a secondary note to my tip. My one tip has a secondary asterisk. Take it slow. And that's really one of my top tips for anybody, any Vegas trip ever, is probably take it slow, but especially with kids. And kids, I would say anyone under 16. I mean, it's one activity, break. One activity, break. Don't ever commit to things on a schedule, because you know how that goes. And by break, I mean full on, full stop, go back to the hotel, rest, do what you need to do, take a full on break. Not just go in a restaurant, hey, let's go sit at a restaurant for an hour and rest there. That's not a break for kids. It's stressful, it's loud, you're spending a lot of money. That doesn't count. So again, if you have to take your kids to Vegas, activity, break. Activity, break. Full on break. So I know really that's 2 tips, but I'm sure eventually I'll probably do some kind of video, or if I ever get the blog up and running, I'll do a blog post on really traveling to Vegas with kids, family-friendly Vegas trips, because I don't just believe, I know anyone and everyone can have a good time in Vegas. There is something for everyone there. And I believe with the right planning, knowledge, and attitude, everyone can have a great time. I really, really believe that. So no matter who's in your family, who's in your travel group, I know that there is something for everyone there. It's just a matter of creating the right environment for those people to have a good time. So if you've got a kid, like I said, plan that trip accordingly for them. Because kids are a little more high maintenance. Now you're planning a trip with that one person who doesn't drink. Okay, they probably don't want to go to a bar crawl. I would never, don't do a bar crawl in Vegas anyway, but that's a different topic. But, you know, for example, right? So if someone's not a gambler, don't make them hang out with you at the casino while you sit at the slot machine. It can get more challenging to plan a trip when you have kind of a, it's not just a, hey, we're going to go drink and have a great time kind of thing, but it's more there's kids, or there's people who don't drink, or people who are on a tighter budget. Whatever that restriction might be, there's still a way to make those people have a great time. There's some people who want to go hiking and want to see the sights and want to go to museums. There's so many things to do that Vegas is just a wonderful, magical place. Anybody can have a great time. But you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to plan for those people with those restrictions and what their needs might be. And yeah, if you're choosing to bring a child, that's your choice. So you need to follow through on that choice properly by planning a kid-friendly trip. Again, something for everyone, right? It's just so cool. There's just so much magic there all the time. I just absolutely love it. So that's it for today. Pretty short and sweet. It's Thanksgiving week, so hopefully everyone's had a great week, is having a good time. If you're in Vegas, I hope you're having a great time. If you're planning a trip, I hope you're ready to have a great time. And just remember, Vegas is magic.